Hello and welcome back to another NDS programming tutorial. Alright, last time was the first half of doing music streaming, and you'll notice I did change the names here to music stream, and we have these files. Eventually I'll have links to these files because we are going to need these files in our project. You guys should already have MaxMod set up when you did sound effects. These files are just gonna use another feature of MaxMod, which is streaming. Now, with sound effects, the way we did it was we basically loaded our sound effect into RAM from our little binary database, and then it just stayed on RAM, and then we just played it from RAM, and then we'd unload it when we're done. We can't necessarily do that with music because music files are huge files and won't fit on our RAM. So we need to come up with an alternate solution for it, and our alternate solution is to load little pieces of our song into RAM and then play those little pieces and then keep reloading new pieces in and removing the old ones once the audio already got played. And MaxMod has a very cool system for handling it. You can set a custom size, what we call a buffer, which is where we hold that small portion of music data, and yeah, we just use that little buffer. We just load stuff in. We tell MaxMod what kind of sound setup we want to play, and then MaxMod will play that sound, whatever's in the buffer for it, and then we can even tell MaxMod if it should control it. We can tell it if we want to control when that buffer gets refilled, or if MaxMod itself can make those kinds of decisions automatically for us. And what MaxMod does is it has something called a callback function. I kind of mentioned that earlier with the whole keyboard thing. And basically it's a function MaxMod calls when it wants the buffer refilled. The tricky part is we have to write those functions. The nice part is that's what this does right here. It's set up to refill, to basically read in the data from Nitro files, read in a little portion of the music file, fill up the buffer, tell MaxMod what we did, and that kind of thing. And there's and since we're reading in and doing that, there's cool things we can control, such as how to set up music looping, maybe time sync effects, whether we want to trigger events when we hit a certain point in the music. We can do that sort of thing. I am currently working on adding those features as our organization sees fit. Currently, as I'm making this video, I only have one callback function, which basically does looping with a custom loop start point. But I'll eventually be adding more and more features to that. So, last time we made our little rock.raw file. We had 22050 8-bit stereo. We will need to remember that. And if I load up, here is our main file. So let's get started. So, before I do that, I should copy these files into our project. I don't know why I didn't do that, but there they are. So now we can include, and I was on all caps for some reason, include music stream.h. There it is. And we're pretty much ready to go. So our music stream, you'll notice I'm on version 2.0 right now. Stream buffer filling routine should really be routine, just one. Automatic file size detection, that's kind of cool. It can tell you like the file size, so you can navigate things a little bit. Streaming state trackers, looping support with custom start points. So, if you ever want to know data about the MaxMod stream, there's this variable right here. You can use mystream.manual to check if this is a manual. Why is that getting cut off? I don't know. Okay. MyStream.manual to check if you should be updating someone else's stream. So if somebody wrote like a function and they have music running and then they call like your function, and you don't know if the guys who wrote that other function, if you're just keeping the same audio running, if you're keeping the same music running that they had going, you can check if it's manual to see if you need to be in charge of updating the audio stream in your code or if it's just running automatically and you don't have to worry about it. You can also use mystream.callback to figure out which buffer filling routine is being used. Currently there's only one available. That's audio stream right here, and I haven't made any others, but eventually I might make some others and you will be able to differentiate them using that. And possibly in the future I might reorganize this so that my stream is completely hidden and it operates more on a class structure, because I don't like that being global, but I'm not sure what I was thinking when I did it. I'll see. It works for right now, and that's all I care about. So anyways, there are two functions that allow you to initialize your music streams. One of them is a default that I made, and another allows you to set up custom data. And the Boolean values they return whether or not they're able to open the file successfully. So you have to give basically the file name, so like our rock.raw is what we will be giving in. This one asks for a rate. The default rate is 22050. That's what ours was. If you want to specify the 3200, you would have to use the non-default. You can set up the buffer length to your liking, how much RAM you want to reserve for your buffer. You guys can experiment with that. The default has a fairly large buffer of 4096, and yeah, that one can actually handle, I think, 16-bit stereo pretty well. You can choose if you want to set up a loop. The default is false, and if you want to set up like the manual settings, that default is false, so it will automatically do the filling routines for you. Some cool functions. Close music stream basically stops the music, frees up the space, lets you start up a new music stream. If you call the init music streams, I believe it will automatically close the music stream and then open the new one. You can set the loop at any time. and you can set the loop start. So if you want a song to start up and you want it looping right away, and then eventually you want it to actually reach like it's to actually finish playing once and for all, you can do that. This will become more useful when I have like a custom loop endpoint. Not sure when I'm going to do that, but you can control that kind of thing. Set loop start. Set the starting point for a loop when the stream reaches the end. You specify the number in bytes of the position. You can get the stream file size. And if you don't want the sound effects, and you want to set up MaxMod a different way, there's this init stream only that I made. And yeah, I'll eventually be expanding that, maybe to include like tell you like the current position or something. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but that's the functions that are in there. So right now I might make another video like this one if I update it with more features, but for now let's add in our song. So since we already have our sound effects, we don't need to initialize the MaxMod thing. That's already initialized for us. Can load the background. Let's load the background and the sound effects first and not try it before we actually start streaming our sound. That's a good method to follow. So let's do that. So now that that's done, and not sure why it thinks that, I'll just add it right here. So now, what was the function name again? I can't even remember. I wasn't sure if there was an in front or something like that. You're gonna init the default music stream because we had the 22050 8-bit stereo, and yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. By the way, this is the constant format that you add into the stream type, stream, and then either 8-bit or 16-bit, and then either mono or stereo. That's how you format it. It'll automatically be changed into some kind of enumeration that MaxMod uses, and it figures it all out. So that's just like it's not really a defined value, it's an enum, but works the same way. So we are going to do init default music stream. I love how smart CodeBlocks is, and we are going to do rock.raw, and yeah, just making sure it wasn't like I didn't capitalize the R or something. There we are. So init default music stream, and that's literally it. It will start playing, and yeah, okay. And whenever we're done with it, we can just close it or set up a new stream. It'll automatically close the stream when we are done with it. Yeah, I need to add a few more functions into this because I'm realizing that I don't have like a stream like is playing or function or something like that right now. Maybe I do and I just forgot to include it in the header. I'm not sure. Anyways, I believe that's the only function we need for this program. So let's save it, compile it, and test it out. Let's see if this works this time. Yep, successful. Yep, so this is my new computer again, recording, and I figured out that strange issue from tutorial 6. Yeah, so let's see if this works. And looking at this, should still play that little sound effect. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I can't hear anything again, so I'm gonna open up the view sound state, and shows me that those channels are playing a bunch. You can see the samples being cycled through in our buffer, and okay, I'm not sure if our sound effect is playing. I'm going to see if I can try and listen to it. I'm not sure if this will cut off the audio or not as I plug in the headphones. Okay, I can't hear anything, so I'll have to see when I am reviewing this tutorial to see if it works. Otherwise, I might just, I'll post comments explaining what went wrong or something, or even have to remake this video. Everything seems, there's always something that goes wrong in these tutorials, so hopefully the whole sound thing is working, and I believe that wraps it up for this tutorial. So see you guys in the next programming tutorial, which I believe is going to be an introduction to animation and hardware. Yeah! Actually, there might be a little like tips video for making what we call a slideshow game. I think I'm gonna do that tutorial first, and then we'll get into like the animation, hardware, and all those sorts of things. So, see you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and game programmers, make some games.